So we all know that there's some voter suppression happening around the country.
Just a little.
So here is, I'm watching The View the other day, and here's Elizabeth Hasselbeck, and she's going to explain voter suppression for us.
I want to demand photo ID for voting, right? And some people, including President Clinton, think that it's now becoming a race issue where it's discriminating against those who may not have photo ID, but who may want to vote. Yeah. This is a tricky situation. You said,
this is tricky. By tricky, she means the Republicans are trying to trick people into thinking they're trying to protect the vote and the integrity of it when they're actually trying to suppress the vote of minorities and the elderly. So when she says it's tricky, she means Republicans are magicians when it comes to suppressing the vote. That's what she means, okay? And here she goes on to, but then Whoopi Goldberg steps in and explains to her that her own mother never had a photo ID. Whoopi Goldberg's mother.
Never had an ID, never drove.
Well, she didn't drive. You know, she registered. When she registered, she had her Social Security number. Right. She had a bill for where she was living so they could prove where she lived. And they gave you a voter registration card. And that is what she voted with for many, many years. And I just want to say, so a lot of the older voters who have been voting for years and years, and some of them are not drivers, some of them don't have the means to do stuff. Yes, Barbara.
And so that's Whoopi's story about her mother. Then Barbara Walters, she also has a story.
And I had to then go and which was okay. You go down and you stand in line and it takes forever. And now I have my picture on it. So I really understand what it is. It's a great effort to have to get that photo. I do think.
And so that's Barbara Walters. She's lived in Manhattan all her life. She's never driven. I guess when she was sleeping with that senator, she took a cab, right?
Well, but in fairness, also, photography wasn't invented until she was way past voting age. So.
That's right. So that's two stories. Whoopi Goldberg's mom, right there next, sitting there. Barbara Walters says it's a big pain in her ass, a woman of means. And then here comes Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
And I know we're short on time, but I do want to say this.
They're short on time, so she's going to have to hurry if she's going to sneak in a little misinformation. That's what she's saying. So here she goes. Ready? She's short on time.
Well, it is a woman's show, so misinformation is that's your name.
And so the only
misinformation.
Dave Feldman.
So so now we've got overwhelming evidence. We've got Whoopi's mother, Barbara, and so the only person who could still defend these quote unquote voter ID laws would be the most extreme party hack or an imbecile. And thank God we get a 2-for-1 with Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
And I know we're short on time, but I do want to say this. It is a great privilege in this country that we get to vote.
Wrong. Not a privilege.
Not a privilege, right?
Not a privilege. It's called a right. And it's funny. It's kind of ironic because you would think that the first person to know the difference between a right and a privilege would be someone of privilege on the right. I was very proud of myself.
Oh, good wordplay.
Very proud of myself. Anybody can follow that? So I just corrected Elizabeth Hasselbeck about it's a right and not a privilege. Somebody else also.
But for women, it's kind of a privilege.
It is kind of a privilege for women.
It sure is.
You're welcome.
Thanks for letting me vote, fellas.
You're welcome, honey.
So here's
don't screw it up.
So I just corrected Elizabeth Hasselbeck about the right and the privilege. Whoopi Goldberg actually corrected her in real time, and it's like water off a duck's ass to Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Here she comes back.
That right to vote. It's a right. That right to vote, which is also a privilege.
She just keeps going. She just keeps going. No matter, just water off a duck's ass. Okay, here, let's get it, ramp it up.
Vote. It's a right. That right to vote, which is also a privilege, as I see it as a blessing, should be protected with airtight security. Now,
yeah, the kind of airtight security that suffocates voter fraud and any Democrat's chance of winning.
You know, you guys need to back off, and I think we should all reread the Bill of Privileges.
So here's Elizabeth Hasselbeck's last thing.
Now, I do think the problem is that not everyone does have photo ID. However, I don't think to solve the problem it means allowing errors in our system, holes in our system to allow those in next go-around, not this go-around, to vote without that ID. I think...
Yes, these errors in our system, these that no one has ever driven, these holes in our system that no one has ever driven a truck through. You know what I'm talking about? We've got to fix this problem that doesn't exist. And then she throws in, not this time, but next time. Next time, as if, so that makes her seem reasonable that she wants to fix this problem that doesn't exist, but not right now, but next time.
There's a hole in Elizabeth Hasselbeck's system that I wish we would close.
Concentration camp? Who can think in a place like this? Nazi party? Who's bringing the dip? Goebbels?
I just want to say for the record, Elizabeth Hasselbeck makes me embarrassed to be a woman.
Oh.
Is that terrible? That is terrible. I can't stand her, and I hate that she has a platform, and I can't believe that anybody can sit at that table with her and be able to ever speak directly to her.